Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Atif Tibaiti. I am your social studies teacher. I will be, inshallah, teaching you this entire year social studies for grade 9. So, before starting with the lessons, I want to talk generally or have an overview about this book, which is Cambridge University Press or Cambridge Curriculum. Before starting the lesson, I want to have an overview about the themes that we have in this book. So, at first, we have the first theme that we will be studying. It is called population and settlement, right? And in this theme, we have, you can open your book on page 1. We have around 16 topics that we will be taking for this theme. And the first topic says world population increase. And what we mean about world population increase is that I expect from you by the end of this lesson that you describe and give reasons for the rapid increase in world population. So, continuing, by the end of this lesson, we are going to understand more about overpopulation and underpopulation. We know that some countries have an overpopulation, it's crowded, there's too many people. For example, like China, which has a significant amount of people, and other underpopulated countries, you can say um, Australia, okay? And these two different things can cause um, issues, and we are going to discuss these issues in the book, inshallah. We also going to give reasons for the cause of these rates, why some countries are overpopulated, why some countries are not overpopulated or have underpopulated amounts of people. We call this population. See, this is going to be it for the first lesson. The second lesson will be migration. And in the second lesson, we are expected to give an explanation and give reasons why people migrate and what are the positive and negative impacts that we should consider when talking in this lesson. But overall, this is just an overview. We don't want to go too deep. We can move now to the book and talk more about the theme. Okay, we can open page 2 or page 1. Page 1, we can see the name of the theme that we will be starting. It is theme 1, population and settlement. So first I have to apologize. I don't have the digital book yet, but I will be guiding you with the numbers of the pages. So you can open your book while at home and follow me up. So this is the name or the title of the first theme, population and settlement. We can move on to page 5, I believe. Yeah, let's go to page 4. Okay, so in page 4, we are going to start the lesson, the first lesson in this first theme, okay? Titled World Population Increase. See, we can already expect what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about the increasing amount of people in the world, okay? So we all know that the population is increasing throughout the years, but can we also expect the numbers that it will reach in the next years? And what are the risks that we should consider? So let's read the paragraph under the title. the population of the world is exploding, which means it's increasing, and it is growing by 78 million people every year. It's a big amount of people, and the rate just keeps going faster and more, which means an extra 215,000 people every day. And there are 150 more people now than there was 1 minute ago. If there are 30 people in your class, those population increase by this amount every 12 seconds. So in every 12 seconds, we have 30 more newborns or 30 more people uh, to the population number. And recently, the second paragraph, we're moving to the second paragraph. Recently, the United Nations released a report which said that the world's population was likely to be more than 10 billion by 2100 or 21st century. So by the start of 21st century, there is we are expecting to reach 10 billion population in the world. Um, it's a big amount of people, and this is um, enlarging a lot of risks. For example, food shortage, less space to live, and more issues like pollution that we talked about in today's lesson. Um, we can move now to the last point. It took until 1804 for the world to reach its first billion. So we have lived around 2000 years without even reaching 1 billion. And now just in less than 200 years, we are already at 7 billion people living in Earth. And a century more until it hit 2 billion in 1927. However, due to reduction in the death rates, in many countries during the 20th century, the population had risen. Why? Because there was less people dying and more people being born. This is one factor of why the population is increasing. Next, the UN is forecasting to the world's population will reach 8 billion by 2025, by the year 2025. And 10 billion by the year 2083, so almost 21st century. So reading all of this paragraph, we conclude that the numbers are increasing, they are not going down, and this is arising a lot of risks, a lot of warnings. And we are going to learn more about what we should expect to happen the upcoming years. We can look now to the picture A. We have a picture of planet Earth with um, a history background from 1 to 7 billion. So in the year 1804, we had 1 billion, and in the year 2011, to the far right, we had 7 billion. So in around 200 years, we have risen, or the number of population has increased by 6 billion. So what do we mean by population increase? We can look at page 5. There's a story on the left that we talked about in today's lesson. The seventh billion baby. So by the time the population reached a milestone, this word that we wrote on the board, a milestone means a goal. So when the population reached this goal, the 7th billion, the hospital made a party or a celebration to the number of humans or the number of population reaching 7th billion. And while that festivities are being held worldwide, there are uh, also warning rising to the surface about the increase of population. And we talked that population could cause many issues in the future. For example, less food and risks of diseases, crowded places, and um, all of these risks that we should take into consideration. Okay, we have also moved to the tasks. We have already done A. How many years did it take the world's population to increase from 1 to 2 billion? It took around, let's see the answers. It took around 123 years. Moving to the second questions, how long did it take from 6 to 7 billion? It took around 12 years. Now going back to the lesson, we are expected to maybe name these issues that may occur because of the population. Let's say, for example, world hunger. There is less food. The world is uh, needing more food. So this is the issue. What can we do to fix this issue? Or let's say um, other issues, okay? You can name any issue you want and give us solutions. This is like an activity. Um, and maybe the risks for environment. How about that? Uh, we could also take each problem and try to develop the ideas, forming a chain as many ideas as we can gather for the same issue. And I think that is it for today's lesson. From page 1 to 5, this will be it. But we can do the other tasks, B and C, to understand more about the population increase and what we can do to make the world safer for us to live. And I thank you very much for listening and hope to see you next time, inshallah. And that's going to be it for today. See you later.